What's up YouTube? Today's video is a bit different. I'm recording with a camera instead of my normal presentation, but I have a great topic that I would love to share with you. And the topic will be the 3 biggest mistakes I did in the soccer card market, and you may relate with a couple of them. If in the end you end up enjoying this video, please do not forget to leave a like, means a lot to me and is the best way to show support. One more thing before we go into the topic, I will leave 2 links below the video. One will be for my Patreon community, the best way to support the channel, and I put exclusive content there in a weekly basis. The second link will be my Discord server, totally free to join, and is actually a great place to interact with other collectors, to learn about the soccer card market. So, that being said, in this video I have a couple of notes that will help me navigate the topic. English not my main language, as you can see, so this is actually quite important for me. Short disclaimer: do your own research, no financial advice. Let's start with the mistake number 1. And the mistake number 1 brings me back to my time as a Magic the Gathering collector. You may not know this, but my experience in the market comes from TCG, especially Magic the Gathering. I played the game for more than 20 years, and I also was a collector for more than 20 years. At the time when I started, I would say, investing real money in Magic the Gathering, I started looking at reserved list. I know I'm speaking Chinese right now, but reserved list basically is a bunch of cards that cannot be reprinted anymore. Of course, that gives extra confidence to investors like me, to value investors like me at the time. So, André, that's great, but what was the mistake? That seems totally fine. Well, the reality is there is reserved list in different language, and instead of me buying the English versions, I started buying the French version. Well, okay, that's a mistake, but what's the final point? The reality is I end up not putting enough time into the market. And I know in this channel I always talk about timing the market versus timing the market. And timing the market tends to beat timing the market. Why? That's a good question. Well, the reason is quite simple. If you put time in the market, you start to understand cycles, you start to have a different perspective, and that's super important. At the time, for me, made a lot of sense to put money into the French version, because I thought, you know what, for the price of one English card, I can buy 5 French of the French version of the same card, and that was a great idea. Guess what? In the long run, one English card ended up outperforming my 5 French versions. And you can tell, okay, Andrea, but that's a mistake that happens. Actually, your logic was not that bad, right? The reality is, in soccer, doing this mistake, I believe, is normal. In Magic the Gathering was actually a huge mistake. Why? Because narratives in soccer are still getting made right now. What we believe right now probably will be quite different in 10 years from now. In Magic the Gathering, of course, things also tend to change, but it's quite different. The market is much more explored, the market is much more developed. So the biggest mistake I did, and this is very easy to understand, is not putting enough time into the market. Because like I said, in soccer, this mistake was fine, because narratives are still being made. In Magic the Gathering was me not putting time into the market. There was case studies at the time about different language that I end up not putting time into the market, not doing my research. So the first mistake, I did not put enough time into the market. I know my example was related with my experience with my experience in the Magic the Gathering market, but you guys probably relate with this even in the soccer card market. So moving on. The second mistake, not trusting your own ideas more. André, wait, you are contradicting yourself. You just end up telling me that you end up buying a bunch of French cards instead of the English version. You end up doing so bad because of that. Actually, I end up not doing that bad, to be honest, but you guys get the point. And now you are saying that I need to follow my own opinions. I need to follow my own ideas. That end up not working that well for you, right? Well, there is a huge difference between me not putting enough time into the market and because of that doing really bad decisions versus you or versus me putting a lot of time into the market and still disagreeing with the market. Value investing is all about that. You are trying to find value where other people are not seeing, and sometimes you need to go against the market. That's fine, as long you put time into the market, as long you do your own research. Look, that's why when people ask me, should I buy this card or that? I honestly do not know. I need to put hours and hours if I want to give you an opinion. And of course, I cannot do that for everyone. But when I'm trying to operate in certain market, when I'm trying to buy certain cards, especially big items, to be honest, not collectible items that are like $10, but big cards, I do a lot of research, I put a lot of time into the market, and if I disagree with the market, sometimes I don't even care if I feel that I'm overpaying a bit for the card, since I believe in the long run of that card so much. Actually, let's talk about this. Let's talk about unexplored markets, because unexplored markets is also related with you trusting your own opinions more. Thierry Henry, Melhores Equipos de Europa, very popular card right now in the market, one of the most important cards for Thierry in my opinion, one of the few rookies Thierry Henry actually have, and you can tell me, okay, that's a great card, there is condition rarity, Thierry Henry is an amazing player, is a legendary player, there is a lot of history for that sticker, etc. Well, that was not the case 2-3 years ago. I actually remember people telling me that, André, forget that card, focus on the Panini Foot 97, because that's the main rookie for Thierry Henry. The market most likely will never care for the Melhores Equipos de Europa. And right now you can tell me, that sounds crazy. Well, at the time, there was actually great arguments to be made for this, but I end up going against the market. So there is a good ending for me on this one versus the other one. So the good thing about this is I actually end up buying a lot of Thierry Henry Melhores Equipos de Europa, both the Spanish version and the Russian version. Spanish and also Portuguese, people may not even know about this, and of course I did very well, but there is examples that I actually regret not trusting my own ideas more. Because if you put time into the market, if you do a lot of research, you should believe in your studies. You should believe in your own decisions. So, moving on to the mistake number 3, and the mistake number 3 is a very easy one to understand. Population reports. Some people, they look at population reports and they go, okay, this card is actually quite rare. It's just pop 1. One thing that you have to have in consideration is population reports sometimes, okay, actually a different thing. Pop report. What pop report means? In soccer, a lot of times pop report does not mean population report, means popularity report. Why? Because if you look at the population report for certain cards, they are actually quite low. Let's say a random player that you love from your own country. Well, but that does not mean that card is rare. If in the future there is more demand for that player, for that card, I can guarantee you that most likely the pop will increase quite a lot. So this is actually a very easy mistake to understand. I will not spend a lot of time on this one, but have this in mind. Population reports sometimes are popularity reports. I hope this video ended up being something that you find useful for you, honestly, because I had a lot of fun recording this. Let's recap the mistakes. Not putting enough time into the market and because of that doing a lot of bad decisions. Not trusting in your own ideas more, but you need to put time into the market. And of course the population reports that sometimes are popularity reports, and the huge part, especially people entering the market, sometimes do not understand that. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys next time. Bye.